Wow, Sagittarius, while I was connecting with your energy, I had so many different messages and images come through. So before we get into the tarot reading, I really do want to kind of unpack some of this because it feels like there's a lot happening in your lives right now. The first thing I actually saw was kind of this double helix pattern. And this pattern sort of straightened out, almost becoming like a ladder-like shape. And what I really got from this is that there is something that is becoming more direct in your life. This kind of winding road or path could become a lot more straightforward very soon. Maybe you're simplifying your life or rethinking your approach to things. I also did wonder if there was maybe some sort of connection to ancestry or genetics that was maybe coming in during this time. And I even got the phrase cracking the code with this. When I was tuning in to your heart, what was going on for you emotionally, maybe in your relationships, I had this really beautiful kind of amniotic feeling. And there was just this kind of feeling of being very connected. And the image that sort of came through was these two people kind of lying on a boat together, a paddle boat, just under this dark night sky, like moonless sky. And it felt very peaceful. I almost want to say like post-coital, like there wasn't even words to describe this connection. It was just very present and very warm, even though it was kind of dark and sort of unknown and mysterious. And as I was kind of feeling into this energy more, I did get the message too. It's like you're letting go of something, you're drifting away, but you're drifting together. So I don't know if maybe you are drifting apart from somebody else, but I feel like a lot of you are actually drifting in a direction with somebody beside you, which is quite interesting. Kind of almost reminds me of the Six of Swords sort of image of being on a ship and being taken away to a new land, to something different, but it still feels very unknown right now. There's just this sense of like moving in a new direction and trying to let go of control of things you don't have control over. And again, I feel like someone is helping you do that, or you are doing that with somebody else. So that's very, very interesting. I also got an image of like a sudden cliff, like a sudden drop off, and it was actually very beautiful, kind of like a sunset. And this actually reminded me a lot of the Fool tarot card, so it does feel like maybe there is this leap of faith. It feels like there's just this very sudden and unexpected opportunity, or just something that very abruptly ends or changes. But it actually does feel quite hopeful and beautiful. So if there is something ending in your life right now, if it does feel maybe a little scary, I think there's some sort of excitement that you can kind of build up for whatever is changing. We had a few other things too. There's just a lot of chatter. That was another thing. I felt like there was a lot of voices, a lot of different things that were coming through at once, and it kind of got jumbled together. So maybe it feels like there's a lot of different opinions around you, or you're kind of in two different minds about different things. But I really did hear something about greatness, like you're thinking about greatness or legacy a lot, or maybe you're listening to a lot of motivational speakers. Maybe things like legacy or purpose are just really important to you right now. And I also heard I'm sorry. So it does feel like maybe there is an apology coming in the next month or so for you. These are timeless readings, so whenever this reaches you, just trust that some of these messages are meant for you, and if this did resonate, it's probably a good sign that this tarot reading is for you. I am going to shuffle the cards here, and as I do, I'm just going to give my quick reminder that these are general readings, meaning not all the messages that come forward are going to be meant for you specifically. It's up to your own intuition and discernment to figure out what applies to your own life and what should be left behind for somebody else. And in fact, I really invite you to just become very present with your body in this moment, maybe even pause this video and really feel what resonates with you and what does not. Don't try to force things, just be very, very open, and also keep to the possibility that maybe some of these messages aren't even meant for you, but maybe somebody else that you know. I do have links in the description box as well for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions, so if you do want to work together with me, you can find the link for my website in the description of this video, as well as links for all of my other social media accounts. Where are we, Sagittarius? What is the energy for Sagittarius right now? Show us clearly, please. Interesting. So we do have the Ten of Swords in reverse, followed by the Page of Swords in reverse. It feels like maybe there is something that, I feel like there has been an end to a really intense conflict or conversation. Maybe some of you have had to practice some sort of forgiveness with somebody, even if you don't feel like they deserved your forgiveness, which is sort of interesting. I did actually hear "I'm sorry" while connecting to your energy, so maybe you even apologized to somebody. But I actually feel like it helped something move on. It helped you move on. There's almost this energy of forgiveness that I am getting here, especially if someone mistreated you with their words or with their rashness or their judgment. It feels like someone does not have very good self-esteem or self-worth, and they're always trying to prove themselves by cutting other people down. So maybe there was kind of an energy where you had a resolution, or you're in the process of having some sort of resolution. That's what I'm getting with this Ten of Swords. It's not feeling like you've been putting off an ending or a delay. Can we get a little more clarity on that? Yeah, Page of Cups. I feel like you've recently had, or you're kind of about to have, this really emotional conversation of the heart. Very much about connecting on kind of like an emotional level. I really do get like, maybe you have forgiven someone or someone has forgiven you. Maybe you even reconnected with somebody from your past. Because sometimes the Ten of Swords in reverse can represent like a unexpected resurrection of something. But you'll kind of know if this is for you. I don't think this is something that's coming. This is something that would have already happened. Yeah, I feel like you've gone through some really dramatic situation with somebody, Sagittarius. Could potentially be involving a water or air sign, so that's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius. Both pages represent Venus, so maybe someone who has a Venus in a water or air sign, if you know their chart very well, or just, again, like a very emotional connection to you. Who is this for Sagittarius? Five of Cups. Yeah, this was like a really sad... I feel like there's a lot of emotions in this relationship, and it feels like you've moved forward. Maybe you haven't even been able to have a conversation with someone. Maybe you just had to write something out or have a conversation on kind of like a soul level with this person, like speaking to their higher self, or just kind of writing a letter to them that you don't send. This does feel like, honestly, an ex or someone who is really close to your heart. And it feels like something ended a while ago. Like, this doesn't feel like this was in the recent past for you when shit went down. But it's only recently that there's this kind of newfound healing or forgiveness that's coming in. Very, very interesting. What else do we have for Sagittarius? Show us clearly, please. Okay, we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So it does feel like you are working very hard towards something right now. Maybe you're even redirecting your focus away from something emotional to focus more on things that bring you abundance or security. It feels like you're being very methodical. And very productive, actually. I'm getting this energy of you being very productive. And we do have, interesting, Queen of Wands here, too. So I feel like you're really excited about something that you are working on. And it feels like you've had to kind of go through the fire of transformation here. You know, I almost get this story of like, you might have had a relationship or a breakup or something that ended that was really emotional for you. But from that, Sagittarius, you really stepped into something that was meaningful for you. You built something that was meaningful for you, and it was almost like you had to kind of shift your focus away from relationships for a while, and you gave yourself that unconditional love and attention, or this thing that you're working on, or maybe that's something you are doing now, but I feel like you've been doing this. This still feels like past energy to me. Where is Sagittarius now? Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like there is this renewal or this new chapter for you, stability-wise. It's like this thing that you have been working on is giving you a new beginning. And it does feel like there's a lot of passion behind it. I feel like you're working on something that gives you a lot of exciting opportunities, or gives you at least an ability to be more creative, whether that's just because you are becoming more stable, or working on something creative, or working on something that you're passionate about. And maybe this is kind of this leap of faith. Maybe what you've been working on is going in a new direction. Yeah, Ace of Wands was at the bottom of the deck just a moment ago, and it comes out. There is a lot of really exciting stuff happening for you. There really, really is. And it feels like maybe you've found your spark or passion again, especially if you've been sort of burnt out. But I get for a lot of you that there is something new. We love to see a lot of aces come out together, because this is a new energy for me. What else do we have for Sagittarius? We do have the moon. And, you know, I did have that image of you kind of under this dark sky. So there is this feeling of unknown and uncertainty. Maybe you're doubting yourself a little bit. What are we supposed to do with this moon? Interesting. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. Both of these positions are very similar when we look at these people. There's kind of this guarded, pensive energy. It feels like you're becoming... Whatever it is that you're excited or passionate about, I almost get the sense, Sagittarius, that you're kind of meant to keep some things to yourself right now. Which is sort of interesting. Maybe it's because I was getting a lot of different voices or chatter around you. Maybe it does seem like people might be trying to talk you down or talk you out of something, or they just don't understand or support what you really want. And it could be well-intentioned. But it feels like you're incubating something. You know, there's something that you're still kind of growing. And I did use the word amniotic before. It literally is like you've conceived something and it's now growing inside of you. I feel like you have some good news, Sagittarius, or you have something really exciting that you're not telling everybody right now. Can we get a sense of what this might be? But you're feeling uncertain about it. Like, that's also kind of why you don't want to announce something too soon, because there's still some sort of uncertainty with the moon. Maybe you're still figuring out what you feel, and it's like, it needs to come from you. The answer, the direction needs to come from you right now. Where's all of this going? Ah, there's that Six of Swords. Yeah, I do feel like you are going to be moving in a new direction, and it feels really exciting, but really unknown. A little scary. I feel like this is involving work for a lot of you, or just something that you're really passionate about. I don't feel like this is so much about relationships, but maybe you are moving with somebody. I almost get like a big travel opportunity that's connected to work, or you're just being afforded this opportunity to go somewhere or learn something new. or try something new that's very different from what you've been doing. You're kind of going into some uncharted waters right now, Sagittarius. And I mean, you are the adventurer of the zodiac, so I'm not surprised to see this sort of adventure coming in. But for some reason, it feels like you're doubting it, even though you kind of know already, like, this is what I need to do. This is the new beginning. This is the next step. Something feels like a bit of a snag, and maybe that's part of letting go. Maybe that's part of forgiving something or someone. Maybe that's the thing that needs to happen. And as I say that, I got like a ringing in my ear. So if you're feeling like there's this new opportunity in front of you, or you're about to pursue something and you're just holding yourself back, it could be involving a situation from the past where you either need to forgive yourself or somebody else. Very, very interesting. But I do feel like you are going to be moving forward. It's kind of just a matter of timing things out and planning. And you're being kind of secretive about this. And it's like you are literally traveling through the night, is like what I get. Like, you're trying something new, or maybe you're even working on something at night that other people don't know about. Interesting. I just had the Ten of Wands flip for a moment. You're working on something, and maybe you're taking on a lot. So be careful not to burn yourself out. Maybe that's why things are needing to take a little more time. What's going on for Sagittarius in relationships? We have the Queen of Cups. Very loving energy, very compassionate energy. Queen of Cups is very intuitive. She's very, very psychic and very connected. And that kind of tracks with that image I had too, that kind of cozy, dark feeling. Yeah, what is going on in love? What is going on in relationships? Because I feel like that's a big chapter in your life right now too. Knight of Cups. Wow. Ooh, I'm getting, oh wow. I just had this really strong emotional pull with this card, or with this combination more specifically. I'm looking at these two, and they're in different directions. And they're both in the same element. They're both cups. They're both water. I almost get the sense of like two ships in passing, to be honest. And maybe that's part of this snag. I feel like this has happened to me before too. Like I was gonna go on a big trip or move or something, and like right before I did it, there was this person or this relationship that came into my life, and it was almost like, well, this person seems really great, but I kind of have to decide to do what I'm doing. And maybe that's why you're kind of letting go together. Like, your intuition, your flow is leading you in different directions. However, I do also get the sense of, while you go in different directions for now, it does rejoin. There is a rejoining. I am getting that. But it's not by you prioritizing this person right now. And maybe this is someone you are currently in a relationship with. Maybe you're kind of going in different directions right now, or exploring different things. But I get the sense there's love here, and that's what makes this so hard. It's almost like making me tear up a little bit. But you're both doing what you need to do, and that's only going to benefit your relationship, even if it seems like it's counterintuitive right now. Because I really do get the sense, Sagittarius, like you are on the cusp of something really, really exciting. I wonder, for those of you who are in a relationship or a connection with somebody, maybe you're not telling them about this new chapter or opportunity. Very, very interesting. Definitely comment down below if that is something you're dealing with. It doesn't have to be romantic either, but it feels like someone who you share a life with, or you have like a really strong heart connection with. Page of Wands. Yeah, there's like this new exciting thing. There's this passion, this adventure. You both have something exciting going on. And if this is a new connection, like there's a really strong chemistry, there's a really strong attraction, and maybe that's why you're kind of doubting yourself right now. Any other advice for Sagittarius about this connection or relationships? Interesting. The Fool. You know, it's funny that this is the last card I'm pulling from the tarot deck, because this is the card I referenced in the energy for you. Yeah, I feel like you just need to take a leap of faith. And I feel like you're doing this with somebody. Like there's somebody there. Even if you don't see them right now physically, like you still feel very connected to me. I just have to say, it feels like there's some sort of point where you come back together. And this isn't about you getting back together with a toxic ex. Like let's be very, very clear. This is not what I'm getting at all. I feel like this is two people who really love each other. Oh my God, why is this so emotional? Like this is two people who really love each other, who need to go in different directions right now. But it also feels really hopeful and beautiful, and there's a new beginning here. And so if you do find yourself in this kind of cusp where you might be needing to go in a different direction from somebody that you love or the people that you love, it's important to have trust and have faith. You've worked so hard to get here, and I don't feel like you can just give up this new direction, this new calling, this new opportunity. I will leave you with an animal card here as well, Sagittarius. Just as kind of an energy for you to embody, but I feel like we already kind of have the energy on the table. That was too many. Let's try again. Show us clearly. Wow. We have the Frog. You've definitely gone through a transformation. And maybe this is about you traveling back to a place that is home or where you grew up, because that is what the frogs do. Even when they grow, they often go back to the waters from which they came. Maybe you are connecting to ancestral land, which is why I saw that genetic thing earlier as well, or ancestral symbol. But what's really beautiful about the frog is that there's a lot of healing that comes from this. There's a lot of magic connected to frogs. And this does, again, feel like even though you're growing, you're still going back to those waters. You're still coming back together with somebody at some point when it's the divine timing for it, or there will be something that is similar for you. Because you just have to trust. You have to take the plunge. You have to dive in. And it's very refreshing. And when you allow yourself to just trust in the direction your life is taking you, it actually feels like a relief. And that doesn't mean there aren't other emotions too. I definitely got emotional in this reading. But there's this new lease on life. And there's this open-heartedness, which is so necessary for relationships, for anything in our life. And this is where I'm going to call it for you, Sagittarius. I do hope that this was helpful. I hope this gave you some confirmation. Definitely be sure to hit like and subscribe, especially if you've made it this far into the video. Again, you can find links in the description for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions. You can book that on my website. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Sagittarius. Sending lots of love and blessings your way.